Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it is for Monday, the 30th day of November. Here we go. So you probably are very familiar with the famous line that says, "Haneros halalu kodesh heim ve'en lanu rishus liishtamesh bahen," which means that the holy lights of the Hanukkah menorah are kodesh heim, they're holy, and we have no rishus, no permission to use them. So that would mean that if you were to want to light something else in your home from the Hanukkah menorah, like to touch a cigarette to it, to light a cigarette, not that we condone cigarette smoking here, you know we don't, but if a person were to want to light a cigarette from the Hanukkah menorah, that would be considered inappropriate, because we have no rishus, no permission, lihishtamesh bahem, to use those Hanukkah lights for anything. Similarly, if a person would want to read a book by the light of the Hanukkah menorah, that would not be appropriate either. Okay, what you might not realize, because a lot of you were thinking, I don't smoke, and I wouldn't light my cigarette from the menorah, and no, I don't read by the light of a menorah. Why are you telling me that? None of us read by the light of candles now anyway, but true. But really, but here is an example that you might not have thought of, and it's this. Let's say it's the sixth night, and you have 6 candles burning besides the shamash, and of the 6 candles burning, one of them, let's say, blows out. So you might, that's candle number 4, let's say. So you might want to take candle number 4 and lean it over to touch candle number 3, so that candle number 4 will relight from candle number 3, or any number from any number. And you might think, I'm not using the light of the menorah for my personal use. I'm using the light of the menorah for the light of the menorah. So it should be totally fine to light or relight candle number 4 from number 3, or 3 from number 4, or any combination like that, because I'm not using it like lighting a cigarette or reading a book by it. I'm lighting 3 from 4 or 4 from 3. That's Hanukkah for Hanukkah, menorah for menorah. But here's the tricky part. It's not necessarily true that lighting 4 from 3 or 3 from 4 is totally like an equivalent use of menorah for menorah, because we told you yesterday that really you could fulfill the mitzvah technically just by 1 candle. And so that means when you have 6 of them lit, only 1 of them really was the necessary one. And which one was the one? Well, I don't know. Maybe it was the first one, maybe it's the last one, maybe it's the middle one. So that if you're understanding where I'm going with this, what's going to happen is when you light number 4 from number 3, you might actually be lighting the non-important one from a Hanukkah thing, which means that you're basically doing something as bad as the cigarette, because number 3 isn't lighting number 4, and number 4 wasn't so necessary. Get it? Therefore, you have to be careful and say that if you're ever going to relight any of the candles of the menorah, don't light 3 from 4 or 1 from 6 or 6 from 1 or anything like that. Always just relight from a match, a lighter, or from this shamash, because it's always okay to use the shamash. It's not part of the holiness of the menorah. It's there to serve the others. So if you want to relight number 3, light it from the shamash. If you want to relight number 4, light it from the shamash. Even number 1, even number 6. That way you're not doing anything wrong. But 3 from 4 or 4 from 3 could be just as bad, possibly, as lighting a cigarette from the menorah. So be careful, please, not to do that. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.